Hello YouTube, in this video I will be making a mounting bracket for the DeWalt T-Stack and the Craftsman VERSASTACK system. In case you're not aware, these systems are identical and work interchangeably. So what I have here is the DeWalt TOUGHSYSTEM 2 to T-Stack adapter. It has one on one side and one on the other. The black side is the T-Stack side. As you can see, it has 4 holes, one in each corner. It's not stable. If you were mounting it to a flat surface, you could use spacers or washers and just bolt through each of the corner holes to attach it. I'm going to be mounting it into a truck body. And so I could have probably just cut this section off, but if I ever wanted to switch to use the TOUGHSYSTEM, then I wouldn't be able to reuse it after that. So what I've done is created 2 aluminum spacers. These were supposed to be 1 foot long. One of them turned out to be quite a bit shorter than the other. I ordered them from Granger. The tolerance was plus or minus 1 inch. I assumed that they would still be the same length, which they were not. However, they still worked. So I inch wide, 1/2 inch thick aluminum flat stock. I'd cut a notch around the attachment point for the TOUGHSYSTEM side, and did the same on both. Lined up the holes, drilled through. I had to add an additional hole in the center. The line is the approximate edge of the truck body, and that was kind of the tricky part. I drilled through the bottom side that you're looking at now. I drilled through the bottom side, both of these, and they came out on the top with an 1/8 inch drill bit. That one ended up with the angle was way off, and it walked through somehow sideways, so I ended up redoing it. So to initially mark the aluminum piece after it was cut to shape, I taped it in the slot on the bottom of the adapter plate, and then used a 25/64 drill bit that I put through each hole, and just spun it by hand to mark the center of the hole. That's 1 size up from 3/8 if you have a fancy drill holder. Otherwise 3/8 would probably be close enough for this operation. So once it was marked, then I just drilled through each marked location for the front and the rear. As you can see, the very front one is off the edge of the inside of the service body. Once the holes were drilled, I took it all apart off of the mounting bracket itself, and the before mentioned hole that I did drill through there to mark for that. And then I bolted that one down tightly and used the 1/8 inch drill bit to align this hole. And once that was tight enough where it wouldn't move, I drilled through, and all these are 9/32 holes. I drilled through that with the 9/32 and then countersunk it with a 1/2 inch just so the screw would fit, and that's 1.25 inches. Just an Allen head flush mount screw. And so what I'm going to do now is tighten that one down with that in place, because that will actually be underneath the adapter plate itself. And then I'll go ahead and tighten that down and then install the front and the rear, and repeat that for both sides. And then I will demonstrate the finished product. Here is the adapter plate after final installation. As you can see, it overhangs the edge of the inside of the truck body by a few inches. 3 or 4 maybe. On the bottom I just used nylon lock nuts. I did the same on the inside of the outer compartment where the inner bolts were attached. I just used hex head bolts. The front ones were 2 inches, or the inner ones were 2 inches, and the outer 2.5. The washers are a 1/4 inch SAE washer, which fit in there just about perfectly. After I tightened the flush head screw part underneath, I placed this over the top, tightened everything down. It is just plastic, so it's kind of hard to gauge how tight to make it. I basically tried to make it so it felt snug and then just a little bit past, because I don't want to crush the plastic and crack it while it's driving down the road. But there it is, finally installed. I will go ahead and get the toolbox and put it on top here. And here's the mounting adapter plate with the toolbox installed on top. It's not all the way against the wall in the back. I did that so I could open the toolbox and it would stay open on its own. And to attach it, it just clips in. Pop that little tab up. You pop up and it snaps in. But to come undone, it's fairly easy. So I'm hopeful that that will hold driving down the road. It seems like it's pretty secure based on the snap, but it does come undone more easily than I expected. On the toolbox itself, doesn't seem like it's gonna go anywhere, but time will tell. Anyways, that's what the finished product looks like, and I'll go around to the other side and show how it's attached up underneath inside the outer service body box. So this is the outside of the service body inside the rear box, and as you can see, they do stick out a little bit longer than I had planned, but I didn't really want to fight with trying to line up the nut and washer on a little stub, and I already had to have help to hold these while I tighten them from this side. The main planning part for this was to make sure I left enough room for the 1/4 inch washer on the inner mounting bolt, and that's the one that's the flush mount hex head. And in the rear it's pretty much the same, nothing too exciting. And again, just a plan to make sure that you have enough room for a washer. I wouldn't want to bolt directly to this material. It is pretty tough, but it's also pretty thin. So this is the final product, my DeWalt T-stack mounting plate with a Craftsman VERSASTACK toolbox on top. VERSASTACK was more readily available, and also as a bonus added feature, made in the USA. That's what it looks like. I hope you have found this video useful, and thank you for watching.